lift off.
D-minus 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and lift off.
And yes, we are live. Yes, we're here. So, hi everybody, and yeah, it's another Sunday. Right, I'm going to dive straight into the
manic Monday.
That's tomorrow. It'll be a manic Monday for me tomorrow. That's for sure. Though.
That's my fun day.
Right,
Sunday is the best day.
Sunday's always the best day because we get to do this show, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we are. Right, okay. Let's have a quick look in the chat. Let's see who's in the chat, shall we? Right, hang on. I'm going to find it first.
Cliff's in. Yay.
Right, so we've got Suzanne, we've got Justin, we have Mark, we have Keith, we have anyone else? No one else. Oh, I've got Laurie. Laurie was here early. Yeah. Patrick. Caroline's here.
Sweet
Caroline. There you go. Stevie Knowles. We've got a song for Stevie Knowles now. We'll be here all day singing songs like it. We can't do that. Or could we?
TJ's in.
Michael Active from Down Under. He's already on his Manic Monday.
Yeah. Yes, Monday where he is.
Yes.
Bud Boiler.
Colin's here.
He's getting to tell us the lottery numbers, wasn't he?
Yeah. I asked him last week. Jerry Bauer, how you doing? Scrolling down his list. Oh, Northside Hawk. That's
Dominic.
Dominic, yeah. Anyone else? No one else. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, Bud's in.
Moon Rabbit FPV. That's who's that?
Moon Rabbit. That's all you need to know.
Moon Rabbit is all it is. Right, Moon Rabbit. Giggles FPV.
Ruffalo's in.
Giggles.
That's TJ.
I thought it might be, yeah. Bud's in the house.
Yeah.
And Elaine's here.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Gruffalo
Drone.
Yeah. Jeremy's in.
Oh, I've forgotten. Helen Coo in Wales is
that's Karen.
Karen, that's it. I can't think of a name of it. It was terrible, wasn't it? Karen, yeah. Some drone guy.
That's Jeremy.
Yeah.
And then you got Quackers.
Yeah, right, and that's it. So we've got 35 people watching, 36 people watching.
And Chad.
Hey,
Good evening to you all.
We need to thank Mark for that video that he put up after last week's show. I thought that was really nice of him.
It was indeed very nice. Yeah.
Enjoyed it so much.
Right. So, and if I have missed you, my apologies. Have I missed anyone?
Did we miss Patrick?
No, I said Patrick.
Oh, right.
Yep. Giggles is talking to Laurie. Right. Okay. So we have a special guest, and who could it be? Let's find out.
Let's welcome this week's Drone Seekers live show special guest.
Is Mr. Tom Dowling.
What an intro.
I'm upset, man. Everyone's all over the place. What's going on? Oh, I meant to say, sorry, my apologies. Terry, unfortunately, is not feeling too well. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. I'm not going to elaborate on that because I don't want to. Because some of you could be eating. You never know. Or shall we? Anyway, Tom, welcome to our humble abode, as they say. And
thank you.
good to finally meet you. Well, I think I've watched lots of your videos, but never actually spoken to you. I think so. But yeah, we'll make up for that in the South Florida drone meet, shall we?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Looking forward
What's the
to
weather
it.
like in Vegas today?
Yes.
It's 66 degrees, sunny and pleasant. The winds
Sounds
aren't
like-
too high right now, but that won't last very long.
Sounds like drone weather.
Typical,
always
Vegas spring.
It always sounds hot when someone says 66 degrees, and I realise they're talking about Fahrenheit.
Just
It's
paying real money.
Fahrenheit, yes. Us backward Americans, we still can't get on the metric system.
I'm sure we used to use Fahrenheit once. Oh, hi, Alan.
I love the metric system, but I prefer Fahrenheit to Celsius because it's so much more granular.
That's true. It's very true. Because 1 degree Celsius makes a lot of difference in Fahrenheit.
Other than that, I wish we would switch to metric. It's just dumb.
So much easier.
You see, this is what I don't understand really, because with Fahrenheit, I just don't. I think Fahrenheit and Celsius. I mean, I don't see them as metric or imperial. I just think they're all sort of just numbers.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, yin and yang. That's right, exactly that. So there we are. So, but well, I know where I am. When someone says it's 30 degrees Celsius, I think, well, that's hot. If they say 30 degrees Fahrenheit, I think that can't be very hot.
Laurie says it's 68 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Wow,
that's hot.
What? I don't know.
Yeah, for this time of year. Yeah.
Mark says it's 18 degrees C. Is that? Oh, I guess. Yeah.
That would be nice.
Well, the beauty of the
Really? I don't believe you, quackers. My mum said it was snowing yesterday.
That's in his living room.
Yeah, he's got the heating on.
It hasn't been very warm today. I would say more like about 5 or 6 degrees C here today. But it changes. The weather at the moment is sort of literally, if you drew a graph, it'd be sort of like
Steve, you had a good day out flying though when you hit that railroad trestle.
Yeah, that was probably about 15, 16 degrees that day. But
T-shirt on that day.
Yeah, but as soon as you go into the shade, that's where the difference is. You go into the shade and you think, maybe it's not quite so warm as you think it is. In the sun, it's great. Hi, Lauren Byron. Anyway,
Hi, Alan, Drone Views Media.
Yep. So, 66 degrees Fahrenheit is 18 degrees C. Right.
It's actually 18.8889 degrees. That's why Marcus and I like Fahrenheit. Yes.
Listen, Mark, if you're gonna do some maths, mate, do it properly. Just So how long have you been flying drones for then, Tom? I know I ask that question to everyone, but
we like to
since the very first Phantom. I got myself a Phantom without a camera, and a couple of my buddies did.
So what's that, about 2014, 2015, something like that?
2013.
Wow.
2013, yeah. And I immediately became nervous and afraid of drones because we were in an Academy of Model Aeronautics field. Now they call them FRIAs here in the U.S. And we were right near LaGuardia Airport in Queens, which is one of the 5 boroughs in New York City. And I put my drone up, and I was about 200 feet up. I was trying to figure it out, see what was going on. And my buddy said, "Hey, look at how high I am." And I said, "How high are you?" He goes, "I'm at 3,200 feet." And I was like, "We're in the approach path of LaGuardia Airport." So that's when I started to realize that drones were a double-edged sword, basically. So,
yeah,
I had, I have manned aviation background. I went to aviation vocational high school, went in the Navy. I was an air crewman. I saw drones as, an ability to get things done. And I was a photographer, was my side gig. And I saw drones as being the best tripod I ever purchased.
Exactly. It's just a flying camera, isn't it?
It just fascinates me the amount of people we speak to on this show and off the show where they start off, they've got the interest in photography and it just leads to this flying camera, and it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Really, because
The point
it's another
of,
dimension.
such a unique point of view. Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, pretty much so. I mean, I still remember the first time I ever flew a drone, well, a camera drone, should I say? And you just look down and you think, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a wow factor. I mean, I don't know anyone who hasn't had that wow factor. I'm sure we all have at the same stage. And Marcus, it is a fascination, isn't it? So, right, okay. So, let's show one of Tom's videos, shall we? Let's do that.
Yeah.
And this one is, like this, you'll enjoy it.
Very nice.
I love that. That was just great. It looked just like a scene from a movie, didn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect
Going
time
somewhere.
to do it.
Well,
I love
Okay.
the dust
I
kicking
was
up.
hoping that Toyota would have contacted me to use that in one of their ad campaigns, but I'm still waiting.
Oh.
So a quick little FAA quiz here. That was a 100% legal flight with the pilot flying within a moving vehicle. Why is that legal in the U.S.? Why was that legal? That flight
Because
legal.
it is a sparsely populated area.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
You could not do that. Yeah, that'd be 100% illegal if you were anywhere around, in a town or anywhere around
Correct.
people. But,
Yeah.
Sparsely populated. Yep.
That's the same you can fly from a boat, isn't it? Same thing.
And I'll take it that was a sunset, Tom, was it? I'll take it was a sunset.
Yeah. That was sunset. I was
the
manually
golden colour.
tracking. I was manually tracking the vehicle.
What drone was that? Just out of curiosity.
That was the Air 3 when it first. that it was out for a week when I had. I told the wife, "Come on, here's your opportunity to drive the big truck."
Yes.
Okay,
And I'm going to fly the drone.
I got a question for Tom. Who had to wash the truck when you got home?
Yeah, guess who, Marcus? Guess who? Okay, guess who?
The next door neighbor.
Yeah, I have an unlimited car wash plan. Be living
Oh,
out
there you
here.
go.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's always an ordeal. Yep. And that dust gets everywhere. Marcus can tell
Everywhere.
you that dust gets everywhere.
Every nook and cranny.
Well, it certainly it was certainly worth it because that video was just painted lots of
brilliant.
pictures. You know, I mean,
I loved how the light reflected off of the dust
Yeah.
trail.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
and of course, when golden hour, best videos are shot.
Mm, Yeah.
Within
It-
that morning, or and here's a funny fact I'm well aware of. 80% of those golden hour shots you see are sunsets, and I can tell you why. People are too lazy to get up for sunrise.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
but why bother? Because I mean, the sunset is equally as beautiful, wasn't it? It's just,
yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
it's better personally.
Yeah.
I prefer sunset to sunrise, but in the UK, it's all pretty much the same. Grey clouds, you see the light just goes dark. That's it. Game over. But no, you've certainly got that was in perfect surroundings. I love it.
I appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Right, so he was operating. Lauren.
Oh, he was guessing why it was legal. But no, Roz was driving, yeah?
Yeah, Roz was driving. I was trying to tell her, come on, you can drive faster. You can cut the wheel a
Bunch
little
of
harder.
Chewy.
Well, I suddenly realised that the drone was only when the head down shot is where he can actually see. Oh, I can see. Was that?
Yeah.
Gary, I'll tell you what
Oh,
you missed.
Gary, you
Just the
missed
video.
a cracking video.
I'll tell you what. We'll sit here for 5 minutes while you go. No, Gary, you've got to see that video. I'm sure you'd love it. So you'll have to sort of like. Well, you can always sort of slide the arrow back and watch the show in
King sort of catch up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think we should roll another video myself because I enjoyed that one that much.
Now that Gary's
That was
here.
one of your best, Tom. Seriously. It was a good one.
Well, thank you, Marcus.
Well, there's another one for you to enjoy.
That was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that music.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
it's
it
like-
really had a real thump to it. I've got nice speakers, and the
Yeah.
bass is really kicking. So, music from Epidemic, Tom, or all of it?
Yeah,
Or
I've been with Epidemic for several years, and I had used an offshoot of their product years ago also. But I have to give credit to Greg from Pilot Institute. I was down visiting them in Prescott, Arizona, and Greg said to me, "Before you leave, you got to go over and fly Watson Lake." And you know, the place is amazing, just amazing as you can see.
was that an FPV drone you was flying there, Tom? Was it, or,
That was okay. So when we talk about FPV, let's be real. I'm not one of those build it yourself,
no,
crash it, and rebuild it 3 more times.
an advantage.
When
Oh,
they came out,
FPV.
when they came out with the DJI FPV, I got into that. That was actually flown with the Avata, and I love the Avata series drones. They're so immersive,
Yep.
and it's hysterical because my wife is my visual observer, and she can't be compelled to testify against me in court, which is good. So uh, sitting on the tailgate of the truck, she'll say, "Wow, you came pretty close to that, didn't you?" And I go, "Wow, you saw that?" She says, "No, you lifted your legs." Okay? You know, uh,
Excellent.
I love the Avata series drones, and I fly the Avata too whenever I get a chance.
Mm. It just as we said before, was the FPV range from DJI have actually given us the opportunity to experience sort of this FPV feel, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it is. You're right. It's not the drones that the real FP. I call them the real FPV pilots. I suppose there is a distinct difference. I
Oh,
met
there's
my
a skill there. Oh, definitely. You know, it really comes down to
Memory.
what I want to spend my time doing. I'd rather spend my time flying and editing
yeah.
than tweaking and getting rates right
Fixing and repairing.
Yeah.
and worrying about whether my batteries are equalized across every cell or not. So
Well, Caroline in the chat, I mean, she knows all about building things and crashing them, don't you, Caroline? Of course she does. Because I suppose it may be part of the fun, but yeah, I mean, if you're more into flying than you're sort of like build, test, fly, crash, build.
so the
Caroline's
people you
comment.
saw on the wakeboards, they wanted copies of the video. Okay. They were on the shore. They were over on the shoreline by the parking lot when we got there. And I said to them, "Are you going out there to fly?" And I said, "Yeah, actually, I am." And they were like, "Oh, if you get shots of us, can we get a copy of that?" And I said, "Well, I'll give you the link to my channel."
Yeah.
And it's
love
great
that.
when you can when I have people come up to me, the one thing I like to be is an evangelist. Okay, I always want to show them the screen. Okay, if I'm flying a
course, yeah.
camera drone,
Yep.
and it's amazing how people react to that when they see it.
Did you ever have the FPV, the original DJI FPV drone in, Tom?
Yeah, we call it the potato. Yeah,
Potato,
or
that's right,
POS.
yeah.
Yes, and it was fast.
It was.
It was
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Had a lot of fun with that one. But when they came out with the Avata, I really felt that was my cinematic connection in
Yeah.
FPV. That
Yeah.
I could then take that drone and match it up with my camera drones and really do it justice.
Yeah, I
So,
think
Tom, I feel the need for speed quite often. However, you've got the Air 3S now, correct?
Yes,
Have you cranked the speed up on it and tried it? In fact, I was with you when
absolutely.
I tried a high speed in mine. So I'm wondering if you tried
Absolutely. It is. I have to say, it's the fastest consumer camera drone out there. Really is.
it. Yeah.
It is an amazing. There's another one that goes with me everywhere. Marcus saw my little kit I have. It's not so little, but I travel with 3 drones all the time. So I have the Avata 2 goggles. I got to be honest with you. I love the motion controller.
Me
Well,
too.
jet pilots don't fly like this. They fly like this.
Well, it's true.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I remember because obviously the FPV, the original DJI FPV drone actually came just with the motion controller. So I sort of found a lot of fun with that. But at the time, it was getting a lot of bad press. I was seeing people were just calling it all sorts of names.
People just sort of turn their nose up at it, really.
Yeah,
It got bad press because people did not know how to use it. And the thing was, people flailing around like this.
that's right. You don't need to. Just
It's,
You don't like that,
it's,
won't you?
it's all in the wrist. It's
That's
all in the
right,
wrist,
yeah.
Marcus. It's all in the wrist.
Yeah, like this, not like this.
Exactly.
Like this.
and then
I'll
because
tell you, I was ready to take that motion controller and just hit it at the drone.
it must make
You know
sure
what
the
it was?
drone.
A friend of mine in DJI turned to me and said, "The best way to use this is to sit down in a lawn chair and strap your arm to the arm of the chair."
Yeah,
And he goes, "You're then going to realize how powerful this device is."
yeah.
And I heeded his advice, and I did that one time, and I said, "Oh wow, look at what this thing can do."
Yeah, see, Colin, everyone's saying, I mean, Mark said, Suzanne said, Colin said, you know, that they love the motion controller. But I just do remember when it first came out, you know, people it was getting slated left, right, and centre. I thought, well, I don't understand why, because it's, as you say,
How do you think that astronaut that owned the FT Aviator company felt? Put him out
Oh
of
my
business
goodness!
overnight.
And Marcus,
Put
I
him out
bought
of
one of
business.
those. Marcus,
Yeah.
I bought one of those.
Oh, me
He
too.
just-
Yeah, me too.
He did. He was so close to a perfect product. So close.
yeah,
That would have
Okay.
been about what, 2020 or 21.
That was 20, I believe. That that was
Explain
20.
to everybody what we're
Yeah,
talking
what
about,
is that?
Tom.
So this surgeon, who was also a pilot and an astronaut, had developed this controller that he wanted to release to be used in surgery to manipulate robotic surgical procedures.
oh, okay, yeah.
But he released it first to the drone community to, as a proof of concept. And he was so close. And I gotta believe that some engineers from DJI also bought that device. Okay. But it was, it was almost there, Marcus. It had some flaws in it. Okay. The latency became an issue with it, but
All the setup too, Tom. The setup was
Yeah.
a pain in the butt. Yeah.
It was just to get it to work with everything was a nightmare. And then when you had it working with everything, then it decided it didn't want to work with everything again. And you had to go through it. By the third time, I chucked it into the closet, into the tech pile in the closet. So,
I put
and
mine
it's
on
still there.
mine on eBay, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I think Colin in the chat has a point, because when you think about it from the point of view of the original FPV pilots, you know, the pre-DJI, because they couldn't use a motion controller with a home built.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, as he says, that they just slate it as a gimmick. It's a gimmick, you know. It's not real.
Well, you know what it became? It became an accessibility tool, because I have a neighbor who's an amputee, and he told me when I first showed up in the neighborhood, he said, "Hey, I bought a drone and I lost it on my roof." And he only has one arm, and he said, his big difficulty, of course, was using a controller.
Yeah.
Well, when I showed up with a motion controller, I took him out to fly, and it opened up a world to him.
Indeed, yeah.
And that's a device that actually makes this a little more universal. And I know some people say, well, those purists, okay, and we have them in every industry. Okay, those purists will say it's not right. More so, they're saying it's unfair, because it kind of levels out the playing field. If I want to fly my Avata 2 super fast, then the only way I'm going to fly it in manual mode is with a standard controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as fast as it flies right now, I hardly have that need. And I'll tell you, when it comes to rock surfing in Red Rock, Marcus will tell you.
You don't want to go any
That-
further faster.
No, that motion control. Yeah, I don't want to go too fast because my hiking days are over.
You don't want to pull a
You
Billy.
left ask Terry about that.
Well, you know what? Marcus mentions Billy Kyle. I was out with Billy and Ken and Lon Denard, and we were flying at Red Rock, and Billy lost his drone up in the mountains. It was
Where?
only about 10 minutes before that when Billy said to me, "Hey, Tom, if you ever lose your drone up there, what do you do?" I go, "I write it off." and so Billy 10 minutes later loses his drone up there, and off he goes. About 45 minutes later, we hear Billy yell out, "I found it," and it echoed out throughout Red Rock Canyon. But yeah, that's But see, here's the other thing: because my hiking days are over, these drones still open up my world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, by allowing me to do some of that ridge surfing.
Yeah,
and where I couldn't do it, terrestrially anymore.
indeed. Right, okay, let's move on and watch another video. Enjoy.
Another one.
That is lovely.
That was lovely. Really nice music too, as well for that.
Yeah.
New York State is a gorgeous place. That's what I do miss about it is, those autumn colors.
Yeah.
Just spectacular, that whole northeast area.
Yeah, so I'll take it. Is it more sort of where you are now? There's less greenery, I assume.
Yeah, unless of course we go above 7,000 feet, and then it's a lot of pine, a lot of ponderosa pine. So that stays green all year long. But we're actually in the high desert. People don't realize that the Las Vegas area is almost Las Vegas is about 2,100 feet above sea level. And where I live is almost 3,000 feet above sea level. So what's beautiful is we look down at Vegas at night, which is gorgeous. But then we can look just north, and the snow-capped Spring Mountains, Mount Charleston, is 11,988 feet tall. So, we basically have so much natural diversity here that, I fell in love with the place.
So how long have you actually been in Vegas for, Tom?
3 years now. It's a little over 3 years. And
is it sort of
really,
roots firmly fixed, or?
You know what, it's funny. I was saying earlier offline that the kids are grown, the grandkids are grown. My grandson's in the United States Navy, currently deployed overseas, and they can travel. So we didn't have, New York City is a great place in your 20s and 30s. But after that, it becomes.
Now you're in your
growing.
40s, Tom. You wanted to move out.
Yeah. If that were only the case, Jackie. But coming out here, we got a great quality of life, and we're in a destination location, so we have friends and family always coming out to visit. And the other thing is, we apparently don't have to put them up either. We did downsize the house, but we have a beautiful guest room. And when they call and say, "Hey, we're coming out here," I go, "Okay, we have the guest room." "Oh no, we're staying at Caesars. We're staying at the Bellagio." And so I'm like, "Okay, but what day do you want us to kidnap you and get you off the strip?" And then we show them the rest of Vegas, and the valley and the mountains, and it's just amazing. And plus, my commute when I was working in New York City to travel 6 miles was 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
And out here, I can be in other states by that time. Okay, I'm less than that from Utah. I'm half of that to Arizona, California. The border of California is 35 minutes away from me.
So Tom, you telling us earlier on you got an RV, so you sort of, I mean, do you is it a great thing to actually just jump in the RV and just go?
Yeah. That's a great thing about being retired too. We can be spontaneous.
Yeah.
The other great thing is we go out on a Monday and we come back on a Friday, and there's nobody else out there. Okay, the weekend warriors aren't out there. So, and we try to go out like once a month for 4 to 5 days, and it really is cathartic. We can get out there and I've used the drone a few times. When it's rare that we boondock, because the wife does love the luxuries in life. So we wind up at a beautiful RV park with full hookups. But whenever we do decide to go what we call boondocking or dispersed camping, I sometimes put the drone up to see what the road looks like for the next half mile to 3/4 mile. And I don't get myself in a predicament, But yeah, it's a lot of fun having the RV and having the RV and coupling that with the drones means I get to go out more, and the wife is into it, which is great.
brilliant.
So, I mean, you can travel. I mean, you just got to just get on the road and just keep driving and just.
We take the little 5-star hotel suite with us everywhere we go. Yes, our pillows, our blankets, our towels. So,
Okay, right. Let's see some more of this wonderful scenery that Tom shares with us, and video number 4.
go then.
My
We've
favorite
lost,
part
we've
was
lost, we've lost him. He's there.
We've lost
when
the
that
guest.
RC car was racing him. That was cool.
I thought, I'll come back and thought, hang on, where's that guest gone?
Oh, that looks so good. Where was that, Tom? Whereabouts was that?
That's the Amagosa dunes. It's north of here, a few hours north of here. And just to give you some scale there, those dunes are 50 stories tall, or roughly
Oh,
about
wow.
500 feet tall.
Wow.
And it's just the dunes actually. We went out there on a Friday before there was anybody else out there, and I filmed part of that where you just saw the dunes. And then I went back out on Saturday because I knew the sand rails were going to be out there. I talked to a few people, and they said, yeah, come back out. We'd love to get some shots of us going down. And what was really weird on Friday was the sand dunes actually make a sound. I thought there was a plane flying over us, but it's actually the granules of sand just moving, and it makes like a booming sound.
Yeah.
It was really, otherworldly. It's an amazing spot.
I think the only sand dunes I've ever seen, I think, well, apart from in the movies, was in the Canary Islands, but those dunes are nothing compared with those. I mean, they're just, they look real. I mean, they go on for miles then, Tom, those dunes.
Yeah, we have them in a couple of different spots out here, and we've gone down to Kelso in California, to the Kelso dunes down there. Those dunes actually sing. They make a really melodic sound. They are sand dunes out by Barstow and Baker, which is in also Southern California. It's about I'd say about 2.5, 3 hours away, but these drives are all worth it because the scenery as you're driving out here is also spectacular. So I never mind driving. I actually, if I'm in bumper to bumper traffic, that's probably the best sleep aid on the planet. But open road, I can drive hours on end open road.
They have some pretty good dunes on the Oregon coast too. I used to have ATVs and paddle tires on the back and climb up those dunes. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That little well, do you call it a dune buggy? Is that sort of what you call
Those
it?
were side by sides, is what those were.
Yeah, these are side by sides, and
Yeah.
the wife wanted us. She's enabling. So she was like, "Why don't we get one of those side by sides?" And Marcus has seen my wife. My wife has a mane of hair. Okay. And I said, you know how long it would take you to get all that sand out of that hair? I mean, really? Okay?
So, all kidding aside, Tom, we've got some mountains very close to us here called the Oahe Mountains, and the dust is such a fine powder out there. People go out there on their side by sides, but they literally have separate air filtration systems on the side by side with a mask that they wear while they're driving to filter the air, because otherwise you can't breathe.
Marcus, do me a favor, stay away from my wife, please.
Yeah.
Don't about any of that you just said, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's how I convinced her that the off-road high clearance truck I have is the right way. I mean, she sits in total comfort in that truck, Marcus, right?
There you go. Air conditioning on, pressurizes the cabin so no dust comes in there. Yeah. Just change that passenger air filter once in a while.
And Marcus is now a new proud owner of a rather large off-road capable pickup truck, correct, Marcus?
Well, I would say my Tahoe was pretty capable as well. But however, I just traded it in on a new Ram 1500. 540 horsepower, Tom. It's got more horsepower than my Vet.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, my truck weighs 6,000 pounds, and it can do 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. Wow. And that shouldn't be legal. Okay?
I so disagree with that statement. Absolutely disagree.
We know Marcus's need for speed. That's the thing. He drives a Corvette, for goodness sake.
You know, my
Actually,
speed limit in the neighborhood is 45 miles an hour, and my wife says, "You're doing 54." I said, "Oh, you only figured out now I'm dyslexic?"
Well, see, Caroline says 540 horsepower, half a Cybertruck.
You
Yeah,
wouldn't
but-
catch me dead in a Cybertruck ever. I wouldn't get anywhere near a Tesla. ever. Let's make that.
and can only drive an extra 300 miles further than a Cybertruck. Okay?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And the difference is these trucks, but Marcus's truck, Tom's truck, just looks like a vehicle. What the hell is a Cybertruck? I mean, what is it?
It's a rolling dumpster.
Monstrosity.
Rolling dumpster.
It's a casualty of engineering, I think is what I'd call it myself.
It is.
Right. Okay.
You know what the Cybertruck is? They say that the Cybertruck is that they finally found out a male contraceptive. Those guys that drive the Cybertruck.
I thought he was going to say they found a use for all that scrap metal, but there we are.
Yeah.
It ain't no pickup truck, is it?
No, absolutely. This is when vehicles stop looking like vehicles. Or desirable vehicles, should I say. But say someone's got to drive them. I'm sure someone got a Cybertruck and they're very happy with it. Well, all I say is
They spend 110,000 on it, and then they spend another 10 grand to get it wrapped. Get rid of that,
What?
that-
do you mean knocked into shape but look like a vehicle? You mean? Looks like a dart, doesn't it? But there we are.
Yeah.
Right. So you either love these sort of things or you don't. And if you love them, well, happy days.
God bless.
Right. Okay. Here we go.
Whatever blows your dress up.
You got it.
Tom Dowling, LensCaptureOnline. Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm out here with my brand new Neo. And you know what? You got to set your expectations. And this is not my best camera drone. It's not my best FPV drone. But damn, it's fun. As far as tracking goes, I'm in direction track right now. And it does a pretty good job. You know, it seems to be lagging just a little bit especially because I'm wearing a hat and glasses. So it'll wind up defaulting to follow me. Plenty of fun out here today. And I think I'm going to start to take up. We'll take a walk back to the truck. I have my DJI Avata 2 with me. And I also have my Mini 3 Pro. I did a little bit of chasing some ATVs and some BMX bikers earlier. I love to collect that footage. At some time I'll put out a nice reel with a compilation of that footage. But that being said, I'm back at the truck. The wife's sitting in the nice air conditioning, enjoying it, the scenery out here. And I think that's going to be a wrap for today. So, if you're thinking about picking up the DJI Neo, I highly recommend it. For $199, to me, it's a no-brainer. And it's one of the few drones you can fly without a controller. You can fly it with your phone, okay? You can fly it with the Goggles V3, with the Motion Controller 3, with the RCN 3, the RCN2. So you got a lot of choices here. And for $199, again, it's a no-brainer. Fits right in my bag with my other drones. And it's always fun to have with you, especially if you want to do just a little bit of vlogging with it. Some selfies. It actually hits that mark pretty well. So with that, folks, hey, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, do me a favor, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and till next time, fly safe, fly fun. Take care.
Real Neo.
Now we do have a dilemma on the show tonight because obviously we've got no Terry.
Oh, you need a joke.
So we need a joke. I know, Tom.
There is
How
you're
about
in
you
the
tell us
spot.
the joke? We haven't got a jingle.
Am I the joke? Oh, you want me to?
No.
Okay, you want me to tell it. Okay.
So
I'll give
over
it a
to you,
shot.
Tom. Yeah, give it a shot. Go for
Yeah,
it.
come on, do a joke.
So, little Johnny went to confession. He was an altar boy. So he went in the confessional booth at his Catholic church. Father O'Malley was there. And little Johnny walked in and he said, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a week since my last confession." And Father O'Malley said, "Johnny, what have you done this time?" Well, little Johnny said, "Father, I was maybe not appropriate with a little girl, one of my classmates." So Father O'Malley said, "Well, Johnny, what are you talking about?" "Well, I really don't want to go into it, Father, but the two of us maybe say it wasn't that appropriate." Said, "Johnny, are we talking about Susie?" "Oh, no, Father, I can't say." "Charlotte?" No, Father, I can't really say." "What about Bernadette?" No, Father, I can't. That wouldn't be the right thing to do." Well, Father O'Malley says, "Johnny, you got to learn your lesson here. So I'm going to suspend you from the altar boys for the next 2 months. Okay? And you have to go out there and do 4 Our Fathers and 10 Hail Marys. And I expect you to behave yourself going forward." Well, Johnny said, "Thank you, Father. I do appreciate it." So Johnny went out, said his Our Fathers and his Hail Marys. He sat in the pew next to his friend Bobby. And Bobby said, hey, so what happened?" He goes, "Well, get this. I got the rest of the summer off and 3 good leads."
Well, I think that deserves this.
Terry's joke of the week.
Kelsey Tom.
Very talented.
No
man.
chance to change the jingle.
Brilliant.
That one's for you, Terry. You didn't enjoy that. Okay, let's roll a video.
Nicely done, Tom.
That was Vegas. I didn't think Vegas had water like that.
We don't have any water at all, Jackie. Keep telling people that. Keep them away. Keep them away.
Reminded me of Spain, actually.
We actually are the most resourceful when it comes to water conservation. Based on our population, we've actually reduced our water usage significantly. And plus, we just installed the lowest feeding pipe in Lake Mead. So if we ever have to cut off the water to California or Arizona, we still got plenty of water. So we're fine.
Well, we're getting time is pressing on, so I'm gonna show one more video, and that'll be the end of the show, but not just yet.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Tom, thanks ever so much for sharing the videos with us. I mean, absolutely great. So obviously, if you haven't subscribed already, check out Tom's channel. Tom, your channel is called
LensCaptureOnline.
So check it out on YouTube after the show, and subscribe, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. And Tom gets out. I mean, you get out quite often flying, Tom, so you add videos on a sort of regular basis. So,
I try. Life gets away from you sometimes, but
someone did actually ask. Someone asked what editing software you use.
Premiere Pro, Adobe.
Yeah. There you go. Yep. Right. Okay. Well, what can I say? Thanks so much for joining us, and look forward to meeting up with you in
a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks now. Yeah.
Low rider.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And anyone else coming to? Oh, I know. Well, obviously you're going to be sort of going on cruise, Marcus.
Yeah. So we get on the ship. Sarah and I will leave on Thursday. We get on the ship on Saturday. So we'll have one day in Puerto Rico with Bob Dempsey and crowd, and hopefully we get to do a little flying there in PR before we get on the ship, and then taking drones with us. So it should be good.
Indeed.
Looking forward to that footage. Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
It's going to be nice. Right. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us for the show, and hope to see you again next Sunday. We'll do it all again. And a special thanks to Tom for joining us. And hopefully we'll have Terry back next week. But if not, we'll just bring Tom. So, Tom, do you wanna- Sorry, Terry. Only joking. Okay. Have a good week. Safe flying and enjoy your week. See you soon. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.